So, hello, and yes, welcome back to another video, guys. I'm going to bring the chair down a bit here, get myself a bit more centered. Now, first off, I do want to apologise because it's been a long time since I've done a video. When I say a long time, I mean about 2 weeks, but I do want to keep this channel going. So yeah, the reason it's been like that is because this channel is mainly about unboxings. I want to show you guys Blu-rays and stuff, so that when they come out, you're aware of them and want to make up your mind on whether you want to purchase them or not. There has been like no Blu-ray releases throughout all of January. Literally been nothing. There was one which I think people were interested in, The Predator, but I didn't pick that up because I didn't like the film. So yeah, it's been a very, very dry month for films. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a video today. I thought I'd better do one because I don't want people to think I've died. So I pulled all these books out that I'm gonna talk about today, and then literally as soon as I was setting the camera up here, I got an email through that my Blu-ray copy of the Cloverfield Paradox is dispatched. So there's going to be another video tomorrow. But I thought, you know what, I'm still going to film this because I've pulled all the stuff out and whatnot. But some of you might be a bit confused by the title here. I think I'm going to call this my Marvel Paperback series or something like that. I've still got to come up with it. What I mean by that is my latest obsession is Marvel Paperbacks. Reading these comics has been so entertaining. I've only been doing it for about a week and a half now, but I found them so entertaining and so fun. I've read like 3 of them in a week, and they're great. And I've ordered a few more, and I thought this would be kind of fun. It'll be like a little journey because I've really been enjoying these so much. I do think I'm going to want to order a few more in the near future. But I want to read the ones I've got first before I buy any more, really. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to show here. Also, I have another... How many more do I have in the post? Jeez. I've got Planet Hulk in the post. I've got Venom, his first solo outing. Guardians of the Galaxy. And there's one more. Daredevil, the first one, Volume 1. Because I hear that is the best one Marvel have done, Daredevil. So I thought I'd better get on that one. But other than that, I have a few here that I want to show. I haven't bought all of these in the last week. A few of them are old. A few of them have literally been sitting around. I've just picked them up here and there when I found them out and about. Thought, oh, I'll read them one day. And eventually I did about a week and a half ago. I went, this is amazing. And then ordered a few more. So yeah, I've been a bit bad lately with these, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about them because I'm so into them at the minute. So they're in no particular order because I don't even know if there is an order to these. And that's kind of why I'm making this video as well, because if you guys have recommendations on these Marvel paperbacks, I don't want to do the individual issues because I've done that with Star Wars and it takes so much time and money. I've always been more of a paperback person because you get the whole story in there. I've always done that with The Walking Dead as well. I buy The Walking Dead comics. I've got a few Batman comics as well. I always buy the paperbacks, get the whole story in one. Not really into issues. They just, as I say, take up too much space and they're too much money, and it's not something that I'm going to really dig into in collecting. I'd rather get the paperbacks. So if you have any recommendations on Marvel ones, because that's what I'm into at the minute, or Star Wars, you know, I know my Star Wars ones pretty well, but I've always kept up to date with them. Then please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, we're going to go over these here. As I say, they're in no particular order either, because I don't even know if there is an order to these. I'm kind of doubtful. But if there is an order, again, let me know, because I'm still new to all this. But the first one up I have to show is kind of an oddball. All of these are all Avengers, XMen, Inhumans, Spider-Man. All of these are kind of your typical Marvel characters, and then I've got this one. This is Alias, which of course is about Jessica Jones. Now, I'm a huge fan of Jessica Jones because I absolutely adored the first season on Netflix. And I also was one of the few people who defended the second season. I didn't think it was awful. But I love this story. I love this character. I love how gritty she is. And when I was reading some posts about what are the best Marvel comics to get into, someone mentioned this and I was like, yeah, I'm all over that. This is out of print. This is an older comic. This is from... Ooh, it doesn't have the date. I believe it is somewhere between 2003 and 2006. It's a hardback, really, really nice back cover there as well. And the weird thing is, she kind of looks like Christian Ritter on here. So it's funny that they cast her as Jessica Jones. Now, I haven't read this one yet, but it looks very much like it is going to follow the story from the TV series. Because I just flicked through it and I saw a lot of similarities. Like she is getting it on with Luke Cage in this comic. I don't know if the Purple Man's in here. there was a really, really cool picture in here somewhere, which I happened to stumble across when I flicked through it. It's a picture of Jessica Jones in her superhero days, because here she's kind of a retired superhero, detective, alcoholic, as she is in the TV show. But in the TV show, she's always kind of been like that. Whereas in here, it actually shows her prior, in her superhero days with the Avengers. However, I cannot find the picture. But you can see a picture of her there at the top in her superhero days with her superhero costume. You can see Iron Man just behind her. So that's pretty cool. I like the fact that it takes place in the universe. Ah, found it. There we go. Whoop, there she is with Iron Man and Thor. Looks like Wasp up there. Yeah, Wasp. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a read. Haven't read this yet, but yeah, very excited to read that one. Okay, next one up. This is one which I bought a long time ago and still haven't read. This is quite an old comic as well. This was just before the TV series aired. I wanted to get to know these characters a bit, so I bought it, didn't read it, and didn't watch the TV series. So, but it is the Inhumans, and you can tell this one's old because the paper feels very old in this comic. I bought this at a car boot sale. I don't know when this came out. Again, it doesn't have a year on it. Some of them do, some of them don't. You got the old Marvel logo on there as well, which is quite cool. You got the back, and it's like really thin, flimsy like paper, which is kind of cool. So I don't know anything about this comic. I haven't read it. There's some interesting stuff in it. The artwork in it is absolutely fantastic. There's some. Let me see if I can find. I mean, just look at some of this artwork. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, the Inhumans, I've read about them in other comics, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I do know of the Inhumans, and I Black Bolt and whatnot. They're really, really cool characters. And I really wanted the TV show to be good, because I thought I did think, you know, even though I hadn't read this, I'd heard people talk about Inhumans and whatnot, and I thought that is a great concept. So I really wanted the show to be good. Apparently it's not. I haven't watched it, so I don't want to judge. But, yeah, I hear the comics are still great, so I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I will get around to that one pretty soon. Okay, next one up I have read. This one I have read. I read this one earlier this week, and it was absolutely incredible. This was the second comic I read. This one came out, again, there's no date on it. I know this is a more recent one, but it is Civil War, of course, we know the film. Very different to the film. I kind of prefer this, but there's no way that half the stuff in here would adapt well to the big screen. And also, of course, Marvel do not have the rights to all the characters which are in this and play big parts. So they could never have pulled this off on the big screen, unfortunately. So it's kind of silly to compare them. But this is fantastic. So it is primarily the same thing. It is Tony Stark going up against Steve Rogers. There's a lot of cool stuff running in the mix. There's a big character death that happens about halfway through, which really is impactful. And the ending of the story is very surprising, very different. And also I want to throw out there that the Punisher is amazing in this one. It's such a cool comic strip, such a cool read. There's a lot of cool things that go on it. The Watcher's in it as well, which I didn't know he was in it. I thought that was very cool. And again, just some of the artwork in it is just absolutely incredible. You can see some of the fighting sequences here, which is just absolutely fantastic. And I really just enjoyed reading this. I thought this was a fantastic read. Of course, this being post 9/11, it really brings it down to a gritty, realistic type feel to it. And it is also probably one of Peter Parker, Spider-Man's most important stories. Next up, this is the one that I'm currently reading. This is Civil War 2, which is more Tony Stark going up against Carol Danvers. I am currently... How far into it am I? This is actually the exact page I'm on, so I've read this much, I've got this much to go. So I'm just at the point where we've discovered that one of Tony Stark's friends has died. And you can see the tension really starting to turn in this story. So I haven't read any more on that, so I don't know where the rest of the story's going. But I should hopefully finish it today or tomorrow. This one's a lot thicker. There's a lot more to this one. This is a lot more juicy. This is from 2017, so this is quite new still. I really feel like this one already will adapt much better to the big screen. I feel like maybe that's why they made this one. Make a comic that will adapt to the big screen better in the future. However, with Endgame coming out, of course, we know that Captain Marvel's going to be around for a bit longer, but we're not sure about Iron Man yet. So I'm not sure if we'll have Iron Man going against Captain Marvel if they do decide to make this onto the big screen. It'll be someone going against Captain Marvel, but at the minute, unfortunately, it might not be Iron Man. I hope it is, but and again, the artwork in here is just absolutely fantastic. As you can see, Captain America does still have a presence in it. They've given Black Panther a bit more of a role in this one as well, which is cool. The Guardians are also in this one. And they've also, at this point, they've started to make characters look like their movie, what they look like on the big screen now. Like, you can see Luke Cage here wearing his famous yellow shirt. He looks a bit like the actor. Also, you can see Doctor Strange just over here on the side, looking very much like our favourite Benedict Cumberbatch. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here. I really can't wait to finish this one. This is great. It's a very thick book. I couldn't find a sleeve to put this one in though, which is annoying. Okay, next one up is the thickest book I have, I believe. No. There's one that's bigger than this. But this one's still very big. I know very, very little about this one. This was in a job lot. I got a job lot of 5. Civil War 2 was in it, and this one. This is Secret Wars, which, again, I know nothing about. I don't know anything about this one. People told me it was good. It was very cheap. It was in the job lot, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to have that. Really cool. You can see Groot down there. Just spotted him. So this is from 2016, so this one's still quite new as well. But yeah, there's just some really, really interesting stuff going on in here. I got a feeling this is going to be a very Thor-heavy book. I already suspected that because on the cover you've got female Thor here, you got male Thor on the back. But I've just opened it up to one of the issue covers, issue number 2, and you've just got every Thor ever on here. You've got Odin on here. I forget the name of this guy. He had a little cameo in Thor Ragnarok. I've forgotten his name, but he's there, the alien one with like the horse-looking head or something. So yeah, it's going to be a very Thor-heavy one, which is cool because if I'm being honest, looking at the others, Thor doesn't have a huge presence in many of the other comics I've got at the minute. He's one of my favourite characters, so that's really cool. See a lot of them there. So yeah, very, very cool. Next one up is the one which I read first. This was the one that I randomly picked up last week and read because I've had this a while. And I loved it. And I went, I need to read more of these. So I ordered a few. I started reading Civil War. So this is the comic which got me going on these. This is Age of Ultron. I was never a big fan of the film. I liked the film, but I didn't think it was great. And I always wondered, like, because I just saw this cover and was like, this just looks completely different. And it is. There's no similarities whatsoever, other than that they share the same title. This is basically, it opens and Ultron's won. Some Avengers are already dead. And it is about them using time travel to try and fix what's been done. And it mainly focuses around Mrs. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, and Wolverine. And it's fantastic. It follows them trying to go back and stop Hank Pym, the Ant-Man, from making Ultron. And it just spirals off in so many different directions. Like, they do use time travel like 3 times in it, I think, in the end. And so much stuff happens. And there's so many twists and turns in it. It really is so fun to read. Because it's like watching a TV show. It's like watching Game of Thrones when, bam, someone's dead. It's like, oh, well, there's another twist. It's like, wow. There's just consistent twists throughout this story like that. Not to mention the artwork being absolutely phenomenal to look at. There's just some absolutely incredible stuff. And I love the covers, which you can see on the back here. I think my favourite one was number 7, which had a really, really cool cover. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find it. But nevertheless, it's just, there's the artwork here is breathtaking. It really is. And this is a comic which, if you're going to try and get into the Marvel comics, I think this is a really good one. It's a bit tricky to follow because of all the time travel, but I think if you really, really invest yourself in it, It's just so fun because of all the twists and turns. So this one here I also got in the job lot, and this is the biggest comic I've got, definitely. This one's like a massive book. I'm really looking forward to diving into this one though, because I hear this is great. This is another Civil War comic. It's not got the title Civil War, but everyone tells me it pretty much is another variant of that kind of story arc. But this time it's not between two characters leading teams. It is the Avengers versus the X-Men, which I think is really cool. I generally don't think I know who'd win this. I'm going to bet on the Avengers, probably. But then I don't know. There's some very strong X-Men. The very interesting thing, though, is Wolverine and Beast are on the X-Men's team. And at the start of this book, they do this really cool thing where they show you all the characters. Then you've got Wolverine and Beast in the middle who look kind of neutral. So, yeah, not really sure what's going to happen here. But there's some really interesting characters in here which I can't wait to read about. Captain Britain is in this one, which I'm really looking forward to reading about. He's always a character which has been very interesting to me. They've put Hank Pym down as Giant Man in here, not Ant-Man, so that's pretty cool. We're going to see more Giant Man. Nova, I really love Nova. I can't wait to see him on the big screen. So yeah, and again, it's this absolutely massive book. The artwork in it, again, it's just incredible. And yeah, I'm just generally very excited to read this one, although this one here is probably going to take a while. I mean, look at that. That is one juicy boy. So yeah, put that one down. This one here I have read as well, and I really need to pick up volume 2 of this, and I believe there's a volume 3 as well. There might even be a 4, 5 and 6, I don't know. I know this is a big story arc. As far as I know, there's 3 volumes. Volume 1 was very entertaining. So I picked this up when Infinity War came out last year, and I read this one earlier this week. So yeah, it has taken me a long time to get into this one, but finally I did it. Infinity. So there is a book out there called Infinity Gauntlet, which is pretty much Infinity War and Endgame, I believe, because I believe that is the one where Thanos wins, and then they have to undo everything, which is pretty much what Infinity War and Endgame is gonna, or prediction on Endgame is gonna follow. This one's a bit more brutal, I think. But yeah, I enjoyed this really a lot. Thanos is really not in it that much. Again, it's more his minions. But I really like it because they do a lot of... They go to a lot of places here. They go to the Inhumans place. They go to the Underwater Kingdom in this one, which I forget what it's called. I forget the name of the guy, the leader of that, because I just read about him in Civil War, because he turns up at the end and helps Captain America. I'm just terrible with names. A lot of these characters are new to me, so you'll have to forgive me. I only really know the ones, like, I'm only memorising the names of the characters who are in the films and whatnot, because they're more familiar to me. But there's some really cool stuff in here. Again, the artwork's really cool. This feels like Infinity War in terms of level of epicness. You can see like one of Thanos' kids here going to the Inhumans place. You know, just trying to stir stuff up. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in here. I'm not sure who this is. This might be Hela. I don't know. She's got the horny head. That sounds a bit wrong, actually. I apologise. But yeah, there's some excellent stuff in here. And again, the artwork is just fantastic. And I really do want to get Volume 2. I think that will be one of the next ones I'm eyeing up to purchase. I mean, it actually shares the same cover, Volume 2. It's just got like a purpley look to it instead of this blue. And then I know that Volume 3 has a different cover. Now, I'm not sure if there is any more volumes from there. I haven't looked into it. There probably is. Okay, so I've got 3 more to show. The next 2 also come in that 5-pack job lot, which was only £20, so I figured I'd done really well there. This is a smaller one, but I hear this one is absolutely incredible. This is House of M. So this is basically, I believe, the story in which Scarlet Witch kills all of the X-Men, and then the Avengers have to figure out what to do with her. So very cool. You can see there on the cover. You'd think it would be an X-Men one, House of M, but we've got a lot of Avengers on there, not really any X-Men. We got Beast and Wolverine there, of course. I'm not sure who else. I mean, Cyclops in the background, maybe. But yes, again, haven't read this one yet. I've only had it one day. But there's some very cool artwork in here again, which I'm really looking forward to diving into and reading. And yeah, I'm trying to find some good pictures to show you guys. This is when she kills the X-Men, I believe. Just absolutely incredible stuff. But yeah, so I think that should be a good read. People tell me that one's amazing. So yeah, I took a bit of a risk on this one, so I didn't really know anything about it. But luckily, I purchased it, and people I've spoken to about it were like, "Oh, that's a good one." I'm like, "Oh, well, I made a good decision to get that then." This is one which I really wanted to read. I hear it's absolutely incredible. This is Old Man Logan, of course, which the film Logan was somewhat basing itself off. Again, it's very different. This is in a world where not only have the X-Men all died, but kind of all the heroes have, and the villains have just won. Like, I turned to the middle of this book to see Red Skull killing Captain America and, like, actually winning in his little fight with Captain America. So that was cool. See some different takes on it. I can't find it off the top of my head here. I can't remember where it was in the book, but and it is basically Logan just going around with a blind Hawkeye, which I thought was cool. I believe that is Hawkeye on the cover just there at the bottom, blind. And yeah, this just looks awesome. And again, the artwork in here, this is potentially the best artwork I've seen. Looks like Wolverine fighting Doc Ock there, which is an interesting combination. I think this is a comic which I'm going to get on and read very quick. This is one which I am generally very interested in. I can see Scorpion up there in the corner as well. See, look, I'm just looking at these pictures now, getting all excited. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is the next one I read. It's not very big either. I was expecting this to be a really, really big comic, but it's not. It's quite thin, this one. So I'm looking forward to reading it. And the last one up is one which I think I kind of made a mistake on, because I got a feeling that there's a huge book with all of these Spider-Verse character books in. So I picked up one of the Spider-Verse books because I absolutely adored the film. I thought it was absolutely breathtaking. One of the best films to come out last year. And I bought the Miles Morales one because I thought, yeah, why not? He's the main character, let's get it. But it's so small and thin. And then I've seen other covers like this with like Spider-Man on, or Spider-Gwen, or the other characters in it. So I got a feeling there's probably a big book out there, all of these in, which is probably what I want to buy. Luckily this was £3, free postage. I really shouldn't have expected much more, I guess. But yeah, nevertheless though, it looks cool. It looks like it's similar to the film, which is good because I absolutely love the film. Yeah, I don't know if I'll read this yet because I think I'm going to want to wait, and I need to look into it more. Hopefully someone might let me know in the comments. But yeah, it's I'm still looking forward to reading it at some point eventually anyway. But yeah, Spider-Verse. But there we go, there's my first video on my Marvel Comics. You know, in a month or two, when I've got another bunch, hopefully I'll be able to come back on and show you guys them. You know, might even give my thoughts on the ones that I have read, because so far I'm really enjoying Civil War 2. And I think Old Man Logan will be my next read. I'm really looking forward to reading that. But nevertheless, that is it for this video, guys. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for my Cloverfield Paradox Blu-ray unboxing. But nevertheless, I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye-bye.